Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. Oh boy, do we got a guest today. He is the creator of Prime Video's Video Game Years and the co-founder of RetroWare TV. Chronologically Gaming is very excited and humbled to welcome John Delia to the show. John, thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Thanks for inviting me. This is a heck of a undertaking. This is cool.
Yeah. So many things, so many moving parts, as you put it. Very glad to have you, and we're really excited. Do you realize what we're going to do? This is a kind of a throwback. We're going to take a time capsule of 1981. I believe we just hit December, and play some games for the period and talk about them. It's basically throwing you into 1981. How comfortable are you with games of that time?
I've definitely played games from 1981. At the time in December of 1981, I was having my second Christmas, so I was probably
2 years
not
old.
getting games. Yeah, I was 1 year old.
Oh, one.
So yeah, I was born in 1980, and it's cool. This is an era, that's for sure.
That's right. Yeah, I debated whether how old I wanted to start or not, because this is obviously not the generation of video games for me. And if you caught the stuff before, we started in '71, so I never thought I'd start that early. But it's been a ride seeing every game in order of release.
Oh yeah, I mean, when we were thinking about starting the video game years back in the day, we had debates about when to start because we knew our era was more NES, Super Nintendo, and so on. And but '77 was a key place to start because of the release of the VCS. But at one point, we were thinking about, maybe we'll have an episode that's very short, and it'll be about 1973. But it's cool. It's fun to revisit these because it's the beginning of it all.
Yeah. I debated '77 too, and because I got some simulators for the Odyssey, and I had found a way I could showcase those. I was like, all right, I guess I'll start really old. But
that's great.
This is a treat, especially for me. So thankful you're here. Here we go. We're going back to 1981. Last game that we were checking out was chess for we say MS-DOS, and that's pretty much just covering IBM compatibles, IBM PC, and any game that would be on the IBM PC, like Tandy, anything like that. So that was the last game that we played. Let's press forward and see what our next release is.
Wow.
Here we go. We're on...
This is a 25-cent game in 1984.
Right, yes. And it's just now released in 1981. This is Skeet Shoot, and check out this commercial. I want to raise the volume on this one. Holiday season.
Atari would like to thank you for taking us into your homes. We wish you all a happy holiday.
Wow, kind of scary when you think that in a couple years they're not going to exist, or at least the same feeling that Atari's in your home.
It was.
I didn't see Pac-Man there, so I guess Pac-Man's not out in '81 yet at home on Atari, right?
Yeah, no. I remember they rushed the release. It's also a terrible game. Everyone blames ET. I blame Pac-Man.
Oh, you wanted the Pac-Man? Okay, gotcha.
Oh yeah, that game was awful. The flickering and everything. See, I think it came out the following year. It's weird that it's not '81.
Yeah, totally. All right, so this is Skeet Shoot, which means this isn't even Atari or Activision. This is by Apollo, which is another third-party, very obscure. Well, not that I'm not familiar with Apollo. Have you heard of the Apollo?
Yeah, I have. I can't recall off the top of my head any of the titles, but I definitely recall some Apollo titles. I mean, I must have a couple of them.
Right. Yeah. Gotcha.
So I remember their logo being different at some point. Maybe they changed it.
Yeah. So back of the box, it looks like they're going for similar to Atari, telling you, hey, you're going to use this controller, the one joystick, one button controller, 1 or 2 players, and it's Skeet Shoot. So it's a shooting game using the joystick for the Atari. And we got a manual for it, the original manual for Skeet Shoot.
like the artwork.
Yeah, it doesn't get up to the same quality as Atari's, but they're kind of
No,
they're
it
giving you
looks
the
like
feels.
somebody's practicing at the lodge. They're drawing something. They're putting something together. They're sharing it with everyone. It's hanging up on a wall. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not great.
This actually makes me think of we're nearing the flood of shovelware because
Yeah,
Activision started in '80 and released several things for the Atari, and now there's other third parties that are coming out here and
yeah. I mean, we're not at Chase the Chuck Wagon yet, where like dog food companies are releasing 2,600 games, but it's getting there. It's
yeah, no,
getting
not
there.
yet, nope. All right, so Skeet Shoot, we'll refer back to that manual if we need to when we boot it up because I'm actually not familiar with this one. I didn't have
No.
this on the Atari. Looks like we just have an alternate version. So here we go. First time checking out Skeet Shoot. It's December 1981, the holiday season for Atari, and here's Skeet Shoot by Apollo. All right, so as usual, you boot up the Atari and nothing happens until you push what game you want to play. So I'm guessing if you push, the Atari had those switches on the top of it. If you push your select button, that should be the switch for the game. So there you go. You're switching out
Yeah.
what game you want to play. And then if you push start, that's the reset for Atari. So as soon as you push start, it'll reset and play that game. So if you do game 1 and then push start, you're now playing Skeet Shoot, which there you go. Okay, so
Oh boy.
John's live playing the game now, and is that it? Is it over after one shot? Oh,
Oh no, I think I hit the button again. Oh, it's a very quick reaction here. I hit the button to start. Oh,
wow! Oh my
can't
gosh!
shoot
Okay,
and move. You got to move then shoot. Oh, this is
that
rough.
seems pretty clunky.
Can I even move my guy? Now I got to try this.
It doesn't look like it.
Nope,
Yeah,
nope, can't do anything.
you only have control over the gun. Oh my gosh!
Now look, I know I'm probably experiencing a slight bit of lag. I'm familiar with the Atari 2600.
No, I think it's
This is not great.
yeah, I think it's something with the game. Let me do a quick manual check. Hold on one sec. Let me see if the manual has info for us. So let me just make sure. Looks like we could use the difficulty switch on the Atari and make them travel slower. But okay, so for controls, that's all it is. You're just aiming with the joystick, and then whenever it's time to
I got 5 directions. And,
wow,
and that's it.
and you just push one button for pull and then one button for fire, and that's all it
Yeah.
says.
Yeah, when I wasn't on the screen, I didn't realize I thought I would just reappear. But no, one button to start, and then launches, one button to shoot.
Oh wow. Okay, and they're doing like Atari does. They have the little grid telling you which game.
Nice.
So there is a 2-player game. So it looks like game 2 and game 7, 9, and 11 are 2-player games. So let's give that a shot. Let's try game 7 and see.
Okay.
Give me a chance to play 2. So go ahead and push the back. We'll switch, or select. Keep hitting select until we get to game 7, and push start on 7 to see how that one goes. All right, so here we go.
All right.
Trying it again. Is it simultaneous is the question. All right, so I'm moving the joystick. Nothing's happened for me. Anything? I think we got to push a button for pull. Oh.
Oh, there's me. Oh, there's you.
Okay, so I'm
Not
red.
simultaneous.
So it's, yeah, not simultaneous. What in the? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you get a lot of time to reset and like collect your thoughts. It moves so fast.
Okay,
Oh!
wow. I can't believe that. That was luck. Oh my gosh. It's so.
It's so rough. It's so tough. It's just so hard.
Okay, then I totally am going back to what I said before. This is the beginning of the shovelware. This is one of the worst, in my opinion, of the Atari games we've seen thus far on this channel. So yeah, I'll stop it there. I can't believe the controls for that one. So as usual, John, as my guest, gets to rate every game we play. And just a quick recap, if the game is broken, you give it around this range. If the game is bad, you give it around 2-star range. If the game's average, it's around the 3-star range. If the game is a good game, it's the 4-star range. And if it's one of the best games you could play, like the best computer game, best game on the console, or just best video game in 1981, you give it 5 stars. So what would you give Skeet Shoot, John?
I feel like I want to give it a 1.5. And the reason the half is there is I'm giving a little leeway for the fact that I know I might be a little off with the timing because this game was quick. So it could be fun if the bullets hit. I don't know for sure, but that's my reason. It's as fast as it's getting.
So 1.5?
1.5.
All right, that sounds good to me. All right, so with that, after Skeet Shoot, man, the holidays are looking... Hope your parents didn't buy this for holidays in 1981.
I never had Skeet Shoot.
All right, let's move on to our next game. Oh, cool.
Now I'm excited.
Okay, so...
we have... Is that Milton Berle?
It is. It's Milton Berle for the commercial.
Nice. I own both versions of the Fairchild.
Okay, so let's take a look at this ad again a little bit louder. So it's Milton Berle.
At 30 years ago. Let me show you a great way to have fun today. Fairchild's Channel F video system 2. There are 24 cartridges with over 1,000 game variations. You take it from a guy who's been in television since it was, radio. Get a Channel F video system. Believe me, you'll have a ball.
I never knew that he was a pitch man for Channel F.
I didn't know that either until I found this commercial whenever I was collecting for the Channel F. This is kind of... I didn't realize the time frame, though. This is like the last hurrah, because if memory serves, I think this is the last game for the Channel F. This is like their last, hey, let's push this during the holidays of 81.
Yeah, this came out in 76, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's why I was surprised to even see this, because like 26, I mean, I have like 5 video carts. I definitely don't have 26. That's like the Panic Restaurant of Channel F. It's like they had like none of them. There were at least 5. Yeah. Alien Invasion. Well, at least it's something that looks a little exciting.
Yeah, right.
I guess I'm predicting Vader's clone with Galaga Galaxian flourishes. We'll see. That's my prediction.
We don't have a lot of artwork for this one. There's the box, if you want to even call it that, but they do have instructions for how to play. I like how they put this on the cartridge, because when you popped it in, you wanted to know what to do on your system. These are the kind that you had to push the buttons before you got to do anything.
And it was kind of good too, because the cartridge actually kind of slid in. It's kind of like an 8-track tape, and it slides into the cartridge slot, and it blocks off part of it. But then it ends up showing the instructions perfectly, because those are still exposed.
Love it, yeah. Here's a fan art of the box. Someone made it into an alien, but it's obviously not alien, but it looks like Space Invaders, possibly. That's fun.
Yeah.
There we go. The actual cartridge. That's what you'd pop in.
Yep. Oh no, I was wrong. You can't see the instructions at all, because you pop in at the ridged location. Like, that's okay.
Oh no.
Wait, am I right or wrong? I could be wrong.
Milton, pop it in. Tell us how it went again.
Yeah.
I think you put one in.
He did put one in, right? That's hilarious. It's fun to do this, especially in this era, because when you see the games, you can predict, or try to predict, what is the game? What will it be like?
Can we judge it by the cover?
Come on, slide it in, Milt. We all know the rumors.
Oh. They only had that one. I guess we don't have that one. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna play it.
All right.
We're popping in Intellivision. So again, December 1981, the last release, to my knowledge, on the Fairchild Channel F. So this is the great send-off with John Delia. All right. So this one is different. Oh, you know what? I gotta actually look at I don't remember what the cartridge said. Yes, the instructions are on the cartridge. I don't know how to do it. Give me a sec.
I don't know either.
All right, so you have to change the game number by twisting the hand controller. So the hand controller had a way to twist, move it around, and pull it up and push it down. So you twisted it to decrease the game number, and then to play, you pull up. You pull up on the controller to start the game.
I don't know how this can be emulated properly because like it looks like a plunger. The controller was a plunger. It's...
All right, here we go.
All right.
So that means to twist the controller, I'll kind of explain because I remember how we set this up before. If you push the left and right buttons, that's twisting. So if you twist to the right, you push the right button. And if you keep pushing the right button, you should see it twist and twist and twist. There you go. So keep twisting. And it's like you twisting it over and over again.
Okay.
And then if you push to pull up, if you pull up, you push... oh, wait, you know what? I can switch the controllers out. Hold on a sec. Yeah, I can do it. There we go.
Yeah,
all right, so this... the Fairchild, sometimes you had one player as 2 and 2 players 1. So I just switched it where I'm now first player, and what I'm doing is I'm going through the game modes. So you can see we got games 8, 9, 10. That's pretty cool. They got that many game modes. But if we do, I'm going to say 2 is a 2-player game mode, and now I'm pulling up on the controller. So now it began the game. There we go. So I'm playing some Alien Invasion. So here we go. Yeah, it's a full-on Space Invaders on the Fairchild. Look at the...
Yeah.
By the way, the filter I use, John, is making it look like it's a movie from the 20s just for fun because the game's so old.
I like that. Oh, it's good. I like how the second row from the bottom, the character kind of looks like E.T. from the 2600 version. When it changed...
Yes.
Neck raises.
Yeah, you're right. It does. There, yeah, right there. When it turns to the side.
Yeah. Look at this thing.
Love it.
Now,
okay,
I'll say this. I mean, there was an overlay on the screen, I'm assuming. Or no, maybe not. Oh, no, probably. The background was probably white.
With the Fairchild, I think it was either white or one other color. Yeah, but it didn't have overlays. What you see is what you got.
Overlays. Yeah, because it's a weird green background, and I don't know if that's your filter or if it's actually like the color they used.
Yeah. Wow.
Because that's unique. I mean, I like the color.
That's pretty cool. No, I'm going to do this. I'm going to reset it, and then I want to try a different game mode to see what else they got. So I'm doing it again. I'm twisting. I didn't see on the controller, was there a 2-player mode? But what else?
I don't know.
All right, let's try 4 and see what 4 is like. So again, I'm pulling up on here. And looks like, okay, it's the same, looks pretty much the same. Let me switch it again. So resetting. And going again with, let's try, so I'm twisting. Let's try game mode 8. And pulling up again, I'm pulling up on the hand controller. Oh, it may not have 2 players. So all the game modes look like they're doing 1 player only. So here I can switch it out, though. Here, John, I'm going to switch the controls. Now you move left and right and fire and see.
All right. Now, I'll say this. It doesn't feel bad. My character motion is pretty smooth.
Resolution is really lagging compared to everything else we've seen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is like... pre-2600. I mean, but I'm still impressed that, like, there is speed up happening at the bottom a little. Unless I'm just imagining that. Oh,
yeah, it's there. The sound is pretty non-existent, though. There's no thump, thump, thump heartbeat of Space Invaders.
No, they're like Radiohead blips. I say that as a big Radiohead fan. Oh, I like that sound.
Yeah, you know what? Something.
Not terrible. Not terrible.
Oh, wait. It's 2-player. Wait, we have another player on. Are you able to move the player there?
No. Can you?
No, mine's not. Oh, my controller turned off. That would.
I know mine did too before. I was like, oh no.
All right, mine's on. So see if do you have movement of the? Okay, so you're there. So it's alternating 2-player. So it is switching out and using both controllers of the Fairchild.
Yeah, 2 different characters. I mean, that's nice. That works.
Well, we've already seen Space Invaders.
I can't recall Space Invaders on the 2600 off the top of my head right now. I just keep seeing like the 5200 version.
That was good. That was a good one.
It was a good one. I mean, I played 5200 was my first new console as a little kid, and I remember that game. But Compared to the 2600, I don't think this is bad.
Yeah, this one has less game modes. The Atari's Space Invaders had like 115 game modes, and you could play simultaneous.
Wow. Oh, that's cool, though.
Yeah, so I wanted to see if we try one of the other ones and see if it does allow simultaneous play.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so let me try this. I'm going to push reset again, and now I'm going to go... Let's try game mode 10. I think that was the last one. Oh, it does show us. Okay, so check it out.
Oh.
On the top of the screen...
I see 2.
Yes, you see the color green in the top right corner. These are now 2 players. So game 9 and game 10. Let's try this. So doing game 10. Oh, we're on at the same time. Yeah, so I'm green and John's on at the same time. So 2 players simultaneous on the Fairchild. Look at that.
Okay. You know, I would have predicted in 1981 that I'd be playing a Fairchild game across the internet simultaneously with somebody else. I mean, that's remarkable. I will not forget this moment.
This is awesome.
It's so crazy. Not terrible.
This is going to be a tricky one compared to everything else we've seen, because this would probably be, I'm going to say, the 20th Space Invaders we played on the channel so far. We played a lot.
And it's I can imagine, and it's my first right now. Space games. Everyone loved the space games. All you needed was a tiny little character on the screen and a whole lot of blackness.
Okay, that is really impressive. I'm going to go ahead and back out of it. I didn't expect that for the Fairchild. So that is the final hurrah. How well they did in 1981 during the sales holiday, though, in North America. We already know how that turned out. But, I mean, they had a good run. Oh, John, what would you give that out of 5 stars for the Fairchild?
I'm giving it 2.5.
2.5. All right.
I mean, I was hovering on 3 just because of, it wasn't terrible, but it's also a terrible last cartridge to put out for a system.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, you're not saving anything with this. You just made another Space Invaders clone, but not terrible.
They took some cues from Atari. Let's do simultaneous Space Invaders. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, so after that, what could be our next release, man? This holiday season's ended up pretty interesting. By the way, when we play this, the video game industry began in North America, and now we're branching out to different places, so it's kind of tricky to pin down the market. On the channel, we're playing every market, and in the beginning it was easy because it was only coming from one place, but now we're starting to get stuff, or we will eventually get stuff from Japan. All right, so let's press forward. Here we go, John. Our next release is... All right, we're going to the arcade.
Well, you can't. This is good.
All right. Mousetrap in the arcade. Oh, this is great. The newest maze game looks like by Exidy. Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Exidy. This is a classic game.
Yeah, we've seen some great arcade games by Exidy, and this is, I think, their first attempt doing a top-down maze game.
Yeah, we might have actually had this in our 81 episode as one of the standalone segments where we talk about other arcade games, and because this one it was big and not huge big, but like it was well liked as a Pac-Man clone, if you will.
Yeah. I'm actually not familiar with this one. I didn't have experience of this in the arcades. To put in perspective what we've seen so far, we had Lock and Chase that's come out, and Roundup has come out in the arcade as far as maze games that kind of rip off Pac-Man. But this, no, I haven't played this one. There's the example of the arcade cabinet for Mousetrap. Love the stuff by Exidy, though. PCB, and then there's our, interesting. Controls are joystick, looks like 4-way joystick, and then colors for the doors. Yeah, and then dog is green. I don't know what are you familiar with Mousetrap or remember this one?
I know I've played it. I just haven't played it in God knows how long. I bet I played it at Fun Spot in New Hampshire, the classic arcade museum they have there. Yeah. But I don't remember.
All right. Well, then we'll both.
I'm sure I have it on like Intellivision or ColecoVision somewhere, but I don't know.
All right. So there's our arcade marquee for Mousetrap. the arcades really had a fascination with mice and rats. We've seen lots of games, Cheeky Mouse and the other. There's another rat game where the rats are attacking Frisky Tom. That was the other one.
Yeah. Well, Pac-Man opened the floodgates. They started making cute little characters.
That's it. Yep. All right, so here's the operation and service manual for Mousetrap, and we like to look and see how they explained the game then, rather than using our own perspective. This obviously is very technical. We try to skip through as much technical as possible, but as we scroll down, we have the dip switch settings, audio board, but I want to see, do they tell us about what it is? Like, how did they say
what's the story of Mousetrap?
we do get stories now. Oh man, we've started to get stories where Atari's manuals are now giving us the story of Super Breakout. Do you know the story of Super Breakout?
Oh yeah, it's like a space story.
Yes, it is.
I was like, it is?
Oh my gosh, they have a story. No way. We usually don't get this for arcade games. Despite many cats on the prowl, the player steers the mouse through a playfield of halls where the mouse chomps cheese for points and finds other red prizes for bonus value. The mouse searches out dog bones, which are accumulated at the top of the screen. Each bone allows the mouse to become a ferocious dog. When the dog button on the control panel is pressed, now the player is the aggressor. The cats are open game for additional points of escalating value. Kind of like the power pellet in Pac-Man, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get all the cheese morsels, you move on to the next level. And then randomly a purple hawk flies over the walls in search of delicious mouse or dog. I wonder if that's like the evil auto of Defender, like the kill-all switch. That's pretty interesting. Usually we don't get that, John. Usually it's something pretty basic, not an actual story. All right, so other versions, we just have different versions. We're going to play the first one. We're here in the arcades. Let's step up and put some quarters in to Mousetrap by Exidy.
So should I go first?
Oh yeah, well, it looks like we're doing the boot up sequence. We're starting to see that now with arcade games. They have the first time you were to plug it in and play, if it was in the arcade. And we do have some cool artwork around the outside. I like to check those out too, which we can do that by, I think we can do this. Check this out. They might have different ones. Nope, they just have this one, and then if we'll just play for a little bit like this, and then what we'll do is zoom in and get rid of it so we can see the game a little bit better. All right, the boot up sequence. Oh, here we go. And we have the attract mode that's playing now. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Mousetrap. It looks really good though.
Yeah, Exidy was good. They have some interesting games, including Chiller.
Yeah. Oh, Chiller. That one hasn't come out yet.
Yeah, I know. That was a good one.
All right, so to put some coins in, there we go. Yep, keep pushing select.
1 or 2 players start, all the credits.
Yes.
So
John's got bank. All right, and then go ahead and push start, and then let's kick it off. Here we go. Get ready, player 1. All right, so if it's...
call the dog. Ooh, yeah. Trying to get the controls right.
Yeah, are the controls based on colors? Like, if you push the color on your controller, is it responding to the correct color?
It is, which is
no
nice.
way, really?
Yeah, the X, Y, and B on the Xbox controller are actually working properly.
That means some nerd out there must have got it set, because that's when you push on the arcade. That's awesome.
That is. And the dog was green, right? So that'll match my A button. Sorry, I've been feeling things out here, not paying much attention.
Oh, no problem. I've been having an amazing time playing a live show while I play a Galaga and then talk about it at the same time. It's pretty challenging.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, that's bad. You know, this isn't bad. I like the mechanic of it. I mean, I do recall this more now. It's not my favorite kind of game, to be honest. But
yeah.
I mean, the Pac-Man games never really did it for me. I think it just gave me too much anxiety. But I like the more free-flowing adventure kind of games. But this was, it's not bad. I like the mechanic of it, and they have cute characters. That's going to impact my decision on a score.
Let me see if I can get a 2-player mode going. Give me 1 sec. So I'm going to zoom this in. Now we can see the whole game a little bit better. The artwork's cool. I like to turn it off every now and then. All right, so I'm going to push start for the 2-player. And so now you'll go first as player 1. So I pushed, it looked like this arcade had 2 coin slots. So I put the first player, I pushed second player, and now John's going up first. Yeah, the object of the game is, you collect all the pellets, kind of like Pac-Man. How do you go in? That's got to be a teleporter, right?
I think so. So I'm trying to... I can't do anything with that, though, so I'm moving. I think the dog temporarily scares the cats.
All right, and then for there's not 2 joysticks. It's only 1, so it's still John up for second player. If it was the arcade, we would switch it out like hot seated. Now, the audio in the background, we've heard voices talking. They're using some samples for this game, like the cat sound. That's not
they are
coming from the PCB, right there.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that about some of the arcade companies. They kept trying to innovate constantly. I mean, like Hubert has a pinball knocker in the cabinet. I mean, the stuff that they were doing was so neat.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of invention. 1981.
And the sound of you eating, I think that's a sample too.
Yeah, I think so.
That's pretty impressive. Way to go, Exidy. But can you just get out? You have to hit the blue door. Yep, there you go. All right, so I like this. I would consider this better than Lock and Chase because of the freedom to just push the button to open and close the doors.
Yeah, it really employs a cool strategy here that you could probably get really good at this. Oh, just locked myself.
But yeah, you're free to get those.
Ooh. Sorry, I'm hogging the game.
Oh no, that's the idea. And this was off the heels of, it's called Mousetrap, so do you happen to remember whenever the board game, didn't the board game come out in the 60s? Or it's a very old one.
I mean, I definitely have the board game. But yeah, this is... So the portals at the corners, you can only go to those portals. You have to hit the in the center of the screen, and then...
Oh, okay, it's a one-way.
It's a one-way.
I gotcha. So that's you have a quick exit, and you'll show up on the... Oh, gosh.
Wow, that was terrible.
Every time that happens, John, just blame it on the lag. To say there's...
I was going to.
Okay.
Shot to the corner.
Is it picking random, or you're telling it where to go?
I think it's picking random. Let's see.
Huh.
Well, that's weird. Maybe it's from the... Well... Question, I don't know.
Maybe it's what button you've pushed. It show each corner, but no, it should be color-coded then, I guess.
Oh, that was totally lag. I made that.
Yeah, just keep saying it every time. All right, that's pretty
tough
cool.
Because if you do have if there is a slight bit of lag in a game like this, it could be death.
Oh yeah, you bet. Well, I'm going to move on. If you are.
I'm good.
All right, so that was Mousetrap. Out of 5 stars, what would you give that? If it was 1981, you showed up in the arcades, and you're familiar with the other things in the arcades, what would you say would be, compared to every other arcade game you could play at the time, what would you give that?
I'd give it a 3.
Okay, yeah.
I'd give it a 3. I think, I mean, at the time, it was still limited. This is unique. And I give it a 3 with a positive attitude. This is pretty cool. The mechanics great. It was fun. I could see dumping a bunch of quarters in this one day. It's and I do like the color mechanic. I particularly enjoyed that it works with my Xbox controller. And that's kind of unexpected but great.
Yeah, right. If we could, we'd get the control panels for all these games and play them exactly as you played them then. But we're doing the best we can.
Oh yeah, this is a cool game. I like the ability to shoot out to the corners if you go back to the center, because it always seemed like getting a fruit power up or something in the center of Pac-Man. It wasn't really worth the effort in my mind. Here, there's a strategic need to go back to the center sometimes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and the door mechanism is really interesting. So yeah, 3 stars.
And while we're on arcade, for 1981, we had quite a lot of big releases for the golden age of arcade games, like Defender, Frogger, Donkey Kong. We had a lot of good ones. Do you have a go-to?
I'm breaking out the DVD. A go-to in the arcade?
Yeah, what would be your go-to for golden age arcade? The John Delia. This is my I could play all. Could you play Galaga all the time? Could you play? What is yours?
You know what I could play all the time? I could play Super Breakout, or in particular Arkanoid.
Yes.
That's a little later, but that's that I just love that, and that has kind of a space theme to it as well. But it's like Breakout with more interesting functions, which made it a lot of fun. I have one in my basement that isn't working right now, but I love that game.
That's fantastic. All right, there we go. So the arcade game that we just stepped into the arcades. Let's see where we're going next. After Mousetrap, we have
Game & Watch.
The latest Game & Watch. So cool. Okay, so we're now in Japan. I'm guessing we're in Japan. And let me switch this out. I want to go here, and I want to get some Game Watch.
Game Watch. Game Watch. Game Watch. Game Watch.
Oh, that's catchy.
Yeah, that was the intro to the Game & Watch segment.
マイクロコンピューターを使ったゲームウォッチ。ゲームをしないときはデジタル式クォーツ時計です。
Game
Watch launch. I'm trying to find when the Game & Watch is launched.
Now, this commercial, I believe, is the one for 1980, and the reason I put it here is because this is Fire, which is the same thing that was on the launch, but this is the widescreen version of Fire.
Nice.
All right, so with artwork for this one, I think, do we even have a box? Oh, we do have a box. Okay, so there you go. There's your Game Watch box for Fire, the widescreen version of it, as you would have seen it in Japan. And then on the back, we've seen all these releases too. Parachute Octopus, yeah, we've seen all these as well. So this is the latest. I think we're still the beginning of December for the release of this. And yeah, there's no manual, but here we go. We're just gonna put it in the palm of our hands and play. There we go. It's December 4th, 1981, and this is it. This is Fire, which was an original release, and now this is the Game & Watch release. And I don't know if you have control or not, because it's kind of tricky for this one.
I don't think so.
Can you push start or anything like that?
Nah, I actually tried them all.
Okay, do you want to play Game & Watch? Because I can switch it out right now and give it so you can play with this one too. Check it out.
I've played this game. I don't know if you want to show it. I mean, or you want to give it a go.
Okay, yeah, I'll give it a go. Let's push game A, and then you can see I have 2 buttons on left and right. You move your fireman left and right to play. This is like cutting edge. Well, I don't want to say cutting edge. It is the newest handheld that you could play, and there is a ton right now. We've seen a lot by Coleco, by Tomy.
The integrated circuit. You know, once they could make those affordable, these things were everywhere.
Yes.
And I remember this game. This game's fun.
Yeah, this one's really nice. And compared to the original, this is the widescreen version. Looks like they added some more color. And you can see the fire and flames on the side. But it just has a little bit better presentation than the original in 1980. But it still gets the job done. I still give it the Milton Bradley Microvision as if you had that handheld, you're going to be able to play more complicated games. But the handheld is still a great time waster, lots of fun, and very charming.
Yeah, my Microvision, I'm pretty sure the screen shot. Those things go pretty easy.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Especially after all these years. But yeah, I think I had the Star Trek game. I love how that was all an interchangeable mechanism to put inside that thing.
Yes, the screen, the buttons, everything was all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know why it didn't catch on. The screen got messed up.
Oh. Yeah, they weren't the strongest, these LCDs. But The Game and Watch games in general, you almost can't go wrong. They really found a way to use the simplicity of this kind of basic, animation format, but still make games that are fun, simple and fun. It's when they started trying to, the Tiger games were often a little too much, like they were,
Yes.
they were just terrible. Like you weren't going to make, Castlevania 2 on a Tiger handheld. So what you were doing, it makes sense. These games, nice, easy, simple, challenging.
Yeah, maybe we should applaud Tiger for how well they did commercially, because you and me both bought them and thought, oh, I'm going to play Ninja Gaiden as a handheld.
Yeah.
And then you got it and you're like, I'm not playing Ninja Gaiden. I'm playing trash.
I know. And the best part was, I was like, this is crap. And then I would want the next one because they did a great job.
Oh, man.
I'll be like, oh, Castlevania 2. No, this is horrible too. Oh.
And for someone that played those before Game & Watch, I found these to be better. And I wish I had these first as a gauge before those Tiger ones.
I remember I had a couple friends that had these and brought them to school a couple times, and it was like, I was blown away. I mean, I just loved the whole presentation of it. I mean, the plastic, the brushed metal, the whole look of these handhelds were just gorgeous. And they were fun.
Yeah.
And they revolutionized the D-pad, I mean, without Game & Watch, you wouldn't have the D-pad.
We haven't even seen that yet. The Game & Watch with the D-pad. I think it's next year.
That's true.
Because it was when they started with the flip, the pre-DS flip clamshell style.
Yeah, I had the Mario Brothers and the Zelda as a kid. I got them much later.
Oh, that's nice. All right, so this is when it gets kind of tricky, because when you consider every video game all over, we usually say like a handheld. If you had this in your hand compared to other handhelds, for the time, what would you give Fire? The widescreen version?
I would leave it where it is, 3.5 stars.
3.5? All right, sweet. 3.5 stars. I'm with you. That's awesome. All right, so after visiting Japan, let's move on and see what our next game is. After that...
Oh...
No way. No way. Oh my god.
Is it Casey Munchkin? Oh my god.
The next release is Casey Munchkin. Oh man, too cool.
Yeah.
All right, let me crank the volume on this one. I don't remember the
For real excitement, munch. When you're hungry for fast action, munch. With Odyssey's new Casey Munchkin video game, it's eat or be eaten as you chase through mind-boggling mazes, gobbling up points. And when you're hungry to step up the challenge, punch. Odyssey's computer keyboard lets you program a myriad of mazes all your own. Nobody else
you can program your own stuff?
Casey Munchkin available now.
What?
Programmed by you.
Whoa.
I
That's
definitely have
crazy.
this game.
All right, so let's check it.
I don't like that. I'm sorry to interrupt. You know about the lawsuit, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think back in the commercial. I'm pretty sure that Christmas commercial we saw by Atari, I didn't see Pac-Man in that commercial for the 81 holiday season. And this was released for the holiday season for 81. And so I know Atari sued them, and at first it didn't go through. And then they did get the lawsuit. Eventually they saw that there was enough comparisons to Casey Munchkin and Pac-Man, and they didn't have the rights to Pac-Man for the home console. Odyssey, Magnavox did. So when the lawsuit was in their favor, it kind of changed the game when it came to, we better watch out what we do, at least for the console space, because
yeah, exactly. I mean, Atari was ready to. I mean, we're gonna own the home market.
Yeah.
And when this jumped ahead of their release, it got noticed. Good game though.
Yeah. And what's interesting is we're playing everything here on the channel, even computer games. We've already seen at home you can play Taxman for your Apple II, and it looks and plays really close to Pac-Man. I mean, like really good. And there's also Gobbler that was done by Online Systems. So we've already seen Pac-Man at home, but because the licensing's different for console compared to computer, it's still the Wild West of development, basically.
Oh yeah, I mean, you had the Coleco. I don't know why the name escaped me. Gemini. I mean, they released a console that played only Atari 2600 games. I mean, what a weird time.
That's a good point. Oh yeah, that reminds me. On the channel, we're really focusing on games and not models of systems. So, like for example, we didn't say we were playing the Space Invasion on the Fairchild Channel F2. We just said the Fairchild. So the Gemini was essentially Atari. It was playing Atari, but just you weren't getting special games for that system. But yeah, good shout out there. All right, so here's the manual for KC Munchkin. How many munches can your Munchkin munch before your Munchkin's all munched out? Myriads of different mazes. All right, so I like reading these because when you go game by game, sometimes we don't know how to play them. And so it tells us, what to do after it says select game on the screen.
Yeah,
and then,
instructions were very important at this time.
Yes. I've explained that I would go to yard sales and get Atari and Intellivision. And like we were getting consoles from yard sales, but they never had manuals or the overlays. So whenever we wanted to play them, I was just pushing buttons so I could figure it out. And so it's great being able to play this with as much paperwork as possible.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Example of the screen, and then how to control it. Use their hand controller. There it is for the Magnavox Odyssey 2. And moving KC Munchkin around. I don't know what else they have to explain because it's Pac-Man. You pick up the dots, right?
Does the button do anything? I missed something. I didn't know if there was a
let's see.
thing.
It's just
Push
saying...
the joystick.
Nope, just move around.
No, that's it. Way to go. Pretty basic.
Yeah, keep it
Kinda
simple,
like
right?
Pac-Man. Yep.
All right, so they have the other one too. Yeah, how to program, right? Yeah, if you push, let's say you have 4 different mazes, 0, 1, 2, or 3, and then 4 is random, so you can pick different mazes, and then 5, 6, and 7, and 8 make mazes that disappear when your Munchkin's moving. And then, so you have invisible mazes. You have to, I guess, if you're a pro KC Munchkin player, you memorize the maze, I guess. And
that's
then,
unique.
Okay, there it is. Press P, and you can go into programming mode. What? And it's explaining in the manual how to program your own maze, which that is,
wow,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
So far on the channel, I'm trying to think of other games that have programming. We had a pinball game on the Coco that could program. And we had a few games that allowed you to create like an actual maze that you could go through. But for this, a Pac-Man clone's pretty cool to be able to program that.
They have a grid set up there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Interesting.
Okay, we have another manual if we need it. But here we go. We're popping it in. It's December 5th, 1981. This is the release of KC Munchkin. All right, so for this to work correctly, you have to have the keyboard, and so to pull up the keyboard you just push select, John, and then it has the whole like overlay. So right now you just say which map you want. I think if you want maze 0, 1, 2, or 3, you push that with A, and then it's like you pushing the button, and then you just push select and the thing goes away. It loaded you in so fast. But there you go. Yeah, we're playing the Magnavox Odyssey 2, and this is, oh man, I would love to see the Atari execs play this.
Oh yeah, that's Pac-Man, but he's blue and he's got an antenna.
Because I bet at this point they have the license for Pac-Man to come home, but they just haven't done it yet.
And by the way, this is a fun game. Like, this is a good Pac-Man clone. I mean,
yeah,
it's got the pellets move on their own, the maze changes.
And what do you think? Do you think this really is that close to Pac-Man? Do you think it's worth the lawsuit?
I mean, I understand why they did the lawsuit and what their goal was with the lawsuit, to stop this kind of activity moving forward, because it was Wild West up to that point. And yeah, they could have gone after any number of other Pac-Man clones, but this one was cutting in on their home turf. I mean, 1981, Atari had a pretty strong foothold at that point, but Odyssey 2, they sold, and this was good. It probably pissed them off that it was good.
With that programming mode, that bumps it up a notch, in my opinion. I could see kids designing their own mazes. Let's play our own own maze. Because, well, I guess the ghosts kind of look close. Yeah, right.
Basically, when they turn position, you'll see antenna. Otherwise, you've got a number of, and I'm sure they use that. There's a number of frames that look identical to the ghosts.
Yeah.
And look, I mean, almost identical to the ghosts. They look a lot more like Pac-Man and the Ghost than the Pac-Man on the 2600 look like.
Right.
It is remarkable how much better that is than the 2600 Pac-Man.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, we haven't even seen the 2600 Pac-Man, but yeah, I'd say this is more playable. But if we're just putting ourselves in, it's just 1981. We don't even know Pac-Man yet. We just know this for the home.
Yeah, for the home.
I wonder what the lawyers were, if it was fun to do that court case, because you had to point out all the differences between Pac-Man and this and present your case. So there was some lawyer that had to say, well, he has antennas, that's different. I
mean, back when we did the research, we did a whole segment on KC Munchkin versus Atari in the 1981 episode. And I think it was the 81 episode. Could have been 82. Depends on when the lawsuit happened.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
Actually, it probably depended on when the game came out when we covered it. But it's... I don't know all the details, but I could imagine that they were bringing in a Pac-Man arcade game. Like, they were brought in a Pac-Man cabinet into the courtroom. They had to have as an exhibit.
Yeah. Because this one, the original Pac-Man was the same maze every single time. And this has 5 mazes on the get-go, and then you can design your own maze. That's awesome.
They made a sequel to this, too.
Oh, they did? Oh, that's right.
Mistaken.
Munchkin made Casey's Crazy Chase, I think.
Something like that. Yeah, I can't remember either. But yeah, they did have to stop selling this, or they had to give money damages. I can't remember how this ended up.
I know that on the Philips Video Pack, the European version of the Magnavox Odyssey 2, it was released as just Munchkin, and they changed a lot. Like, the way everything looks is totally different.
Yeah.
Or you can actually see it. The artwork behind us, the overlay behind us is the Munchkin overlay for the Philips Video Pack.
Yeah, I could see the laser light grid thing.
Right.
Like a video pack look, right?
All right, but that's a very good point. This isn't as good as Pac-Man. This is really good for considering the other one on Atari.
Yeah, I actually I like the fact that the pellets move. I kind of like the fact that there's fewer pellets, to be honest. I like how this thing's shifting around at times. Kind of neat.
Oh, and he has the smiley face. You can pause and he can look at you as the player, like, hey, look, I'm cute.
Hi. Yeah. The ghost thing is a little too similar.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Pick the right pellet up, and then you can damage them. The hunter becomes the hunted.
This is cool. Oh,
all right. Randomly. So that was amazing. We got to KC Munchkin. So the holidays are here in North America, that's for sure. So John, out of 5 stars, what would you give KC Munchkin for all the other games you could play?
Yeah, of all the other games, I'm giving it 3.5.
All right.
I think it's a gem, a hidden gem in this era.
Got it.
I mean, not everyone remembers the Odyssey 2 very well, but it had some good stuff.
Yeah, you think that the console wars, there's more of Intellivision versus Atari that was higher up
at that era? Yeah, it was Intellivision versus Atari, and Fairchild has come to its end. I mean, even the Odyssey 2 was aging at this point and never had a full market.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much it. Those are the 2 big ones at the time.
Right.
Straight console, not computer.
Yeah. There it is in the bottom left corner with keyboard and all, because the keyboard made it more fun.
Yeah. It's got that membrane keyboard, which was very popular in the 80s.
Yes. All right, so after KC Munchkin, what is our next game? All right.
All right, space game.
Yes, the latest space game for the Mattel Intellivision. This is Star Strike, which the commercial we're seeing is the classic George Plimpton commercial. So I think they did several at the time. So this is the original. You know, like which one's better, Atari or television?
Yeah.
Love
It was a
this.
war. They started naming their opponents. Intellivision crapping on Atari, Atari crapping on Intellivision.
Yeah, they went back and forth. That's right.
Intellivision was kind of the sports system. They had the superior sports games by far.
Especially when George Plimpton compares them. I mean, how could you not pick a television? Right?
And they had the licenses. They had official licenses too.
Yes. Oh yeah, we saw that when we were before I started doing commercials on the channel. We went through television. Almost every game was licensed. NFL, MLB. They even had bowling. The National Bowling Association was licensed for it.
It's fantastic.
All right, here we go. Here's the box for Star Strike by Intellivision, and then back of the box looks like we got Spectacular Planetary Adventure. Oh, it looks like they're doing the trench run of Star Wars.
I know. Yeah, definitely.
Feel for Star
It's
Strike.
almost like a forward-facing Zaxxon almost.
Yeah, right? Love it. All right, so we have any other images for it? Let's see. Got some different artwork. Oh, there we go. This is Intellivision. That's right. We have the overlay for the keypad. So that's what the overlay looks like with 4 buttons on either side. So we go game to game, John. And so you have to like picture, I'm holding an Intellivision controller, which means I got 2 buttons on one side with my hand, 2 buttons on the other side. And then I got the disc at the bottom that you're rubbing. Yeah, the grimy, slimy disc.
Oh, I hate that thing. I forgot it's at the bottom too. It just like feels weird. Oh,
I'm a lefty, so I really feel the pain. It didn't feel right.
Yeah, that's rough.
An example of what the cartridge looked like. Very cool. All right, so we have the manual. Here we go. The original manual for Star Strike. Oh, 1 player only. Interesting. Not multiplayer for Star Strike. Your mission: destroy the alien station before Earth passes directly over the launch trench. Shoot down the alien defenders stalking you. Bomb 5 hot targets or Earth will be destroyed. Good luck and good hunting. Get a high score by bombing 5 red targets. So let's just see what controls are, because it looks like you're just going to do a space shooter. Pretty cool perspective for the time at home, at least.
Yeah, we got 2 things. We got air-to-air lasers. We have bomb dropping, and then we have this warp thing going on the number pad, which
Oh, I see. Yep, warp 1, 2, and 3. It looks like. So I don't know what that means, what warping's for, but for the 4 buttons, I'll show you how that works. Flying's pretty easy, and then looks like we do... Okay, when you start the game, you push 1 to do level 1, and it looks like it's just... Oh, so it's not really game variations. So it's a 1-player game, but you just have 6 different levels, how fast you would want to do it, basically.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Okay, we'll refer back to the manual if we have more questions, but let's pop it in. Here we go. The latest Intellivision game. This is December 5th, 1981, and we're playing Star Strike. All right, so I want to see if... Okay, we can switch the controllers back and forth. So what we do first is we select what difficulty we want to play it on. So because we're newbies and because the emulation is a little crazy, what you do, John, is you hold down the bumpers on your joystick, and that pulls up your keypad. While you hold down the bumpers, then you move the directional pad around, and then you push one of the buttons. So that's how of you like using the number pad on there. So
I see. Okay.
And so this is really hard to play modern times with like boxing. Oh man, that was crazy. Or basketball.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. So I select 1, right?
Yeah. So I think I already pushed a button on 1, and am I going? Oh, it looks like it's just I've died.
You playing?
Yeah, I think I'm up first. So let me try it again. Maybe I have to do a reset, because right now, whenever I'm doing buttons on the keypad, or nothing's happening. So let me try just a reset and go back to the first screen. There we go. So let me try control 1. Okay, so yeah, I'm up. So my ship's moving around now, and I have if I use the one of the buttons, I fire there, and then I have... Oh, it's like a bombing.
You're bombing.
Yeah, and you can see the ships. They're trying to show me the 2-dimension or the 3-dimensional, like their shadow as the red thing at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like the ship is too far forward on the screen.
Because they're pulling up from behind.
I gotta say, as a home console game, I mean, you have like a moon to the far left. You got different colored stars. You have this really quick moving graphic. Not bad.
Yeah. I can only think of arcade we played with a game like this, and we also played a couple for home computer that played this way. Yeah. So after we die, though, I don't know why it's not.
What is happening?
Yeah, it doesn't respond for anything. I'm pushing even buttons on the controller, and I got nothing. And even do we clear? Enter? No. So I don't understand. Maybe we have to do a reset. So I'll reset it again. Yeah. All right. So let's give it a shot again. Go ahead and pull up your keypad and push. I guess level 1, 2, or 3, whatever difficulty you want, and then see if you can move around. There you go. So
yeah, I got it.
And then to fire, you have your face buttons on your controller are the side buttons. So that's you pressing the sides of the Intellivision. So right there, yeah. I think you're dead, and then that's it.
I'm dead, and now this is happening.
And then it
and then they blow up Earth.
And Earth is destroyed, and then you reset the console? No way. Okay, let me go back to the manual just to be sure.
Yeah, that's weird.
Flying control. Watch out, you're being followed. If you're hit, damage to your spaceship gets more severe every time you're hit. These serious problems occur in random order. You won't be able to climb fast, have slower movement. Well, when we get hit, we just die. You can still save the day if you're fast enough. So you lose your targeting radar signal. Your ship's out of control long after being hit. You score points and release bombs. And if you bomb the 5th target, you'll destroy the enemy star completely and save Earth. And scoring and strategy. When engaged, part of the alien strategy is draw. You keep the number of targets. No, it doesn't say anything.
It doesn't say it.
Wow.
It doesn't feel like a defect of this file. I mean, it would be weird that the game wouldn't operate properly.
Yeah, it's doing what it needs to, but we're just not surviving long enough. But it says that your ship can get damaged and not totally be destroyed. But all right, we go for a reset again, and let's try it again. Let's try a different difficulty. I'll try 3 this time and see what that's like.
You also have lasers that shoot toward. There we go.
So I can shoot forward.
The perspective is weird. I don't know who's in front.
Right. Yeah, it's a little tricky because you can. I can tell those ships are in front of me. Oh, and the walls. That's the other thing.
The walls and the ground too.
If you fly too far left and right, then you get blown up. Oh, and there we go. And every time you die, you get to see Earth explode. Look at that. They fire it right on North America.
Like a little cinema.
This really reminds me of Buck Rogers. If you ever played that game, it's the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, I'll give it one more go and see. Do you want to give it another shot and see if you can get a little further, or you want me to try it?
Yeah, you try it. I've wiped my hands of Star Strike.
Okay, so they're behind me now. If I wait for them, I'll wait for them to get in front of me. They change color.
Oh,
got it. Okay, there we go. And then I can shoot them. All right. Gotten the feel for it. The bombs, though, I guess if they come below me, I can hit them when they come below me. So I'm watching the back. Let's see if I can get a bomb drop. Nope, can't get that, but I can get. No, get it. So I missed one. I missed 2, so I couldn't get both of them. Yeah, the perspective is tricky, but they are trying to this 3-dimensional look. So it's like darn.
Yeah.
Wow, the one death and then it's all over.
Pretty hard.
All right, I won't see the Earth get destroyed again. All right, well, with that, that's Star Strike for the Intellivision. John, what would you give that one?
I'm gonna give it 2.5. I mean, it's not broken. I mean, it's tough. I like the graphics. I like the fact that when you die, they blow up Earth. I mean, it's like a little cinema. like a little cutscene. And you didn't see a lot of that stuff on consoles back then. And I am doing the 1981 console game, review here.
Yes.
I think it could get good. I think you could get good at it. I think it's a little hard to pick up from the beginning, but
yeah.
Yeah.
That was most of the television games, especially sports. It's not to pick up and play like I'm going to put it in your hand and you play it, right?
Yeah. You got to really get into it. You got to really know exactly. Yeah, the color change for the perspective stuff, that's good. That's cool, but it's still awkward. But yeah. It's a good try.
These are the kind of things we'd see if you go into the store in 1981, what you're going to buy for Christmas. So we're hitting all of those. All right, so let's move on. We'll do one more tonight. This will be our last one for this evening. So our next game is back in the arcades. Ooh. Okay, cool. This is Eliminator.
Back to vector graphics.
This is, I think, only the third or fourth color vector game. It looks color. Yeah, it doesn't look like overlay. Color vector game that we've ever seen on the channel. All right, so what is Eliminator? Whoa, 4-player game? No way.
I mean, look at that. Look at that machine. I mean, it's a stand-up kind of like cocktail thing. There's, you didn't see a lot of games like this coming out still.
Right? Yeah. The 4-player though. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and they have an upright version too. Nice. So 2-player version or 4-player. Oh man, that's a cool cabinet though.
Yeah, that's definitely cool.
Who did this? Oh, Sega Gremlin. Okay.
Yeah, they're clever. They good stuff.
All right, so control panel looks like we got turning, thrusting, and then fire. So it's like asteroid controls is what I would think, something like that. Yeah. Rotating, and then there's our arcade marquee for Eliminator. And, oh yeah, example of the screenshot. Yeah, color vector graphics. Okay, so I think it's only the third or fourth we've seen on the channel. This is awesome. All right, for the manual, Sega Gremlin's owner's manual, what is Eliminator, or what do they say? Oh, well, this is the technical. Eliminator is an electronic game that makes extensive use of digital integrated... Yeah, we know that.
It uses television monitor concepts, like vision. like colors. Concepts.
Here we go, game concept. Eliminator is a 1 or 2-player or 4-player. I guess this is for the 2-player upright cabinet. Eliminator stays within the Eliminator base fixed amount of time. Eliminator can't be hit until it's well clear of the Eliminator base because of their protective shield around it. The Eliminator floats in a random motion around the screen and difficult for players to predict the Eliminator's base floating motion. Eliminator is capable of shooting fireballs at player ships, and the pursuit speed of the Eliminator firing frequency speed is controlled in a manner which makes the game more and more difficult as rounds progress. So the Eliminator is, I guess, the Death Star of Star Wars, and we gotta blow it up
with asteroid ships.
Yes, with asteroid ships, right? Once the Eliminator is destroyed, another one reappears, and then countdown begins. Okay, so it looks like we tried to line our ships up to shoot directly into the Eliminator base tunnel. I'm not familiar with this one. I haven't seen Eliminator. Have you heard of this one before?
I've heard of it. I don't think I've ever played it, and I go to a lot of old arcade stuff, and I've seen a lot of weird, rare machines, but I don't think I've seen Eliminator.
Yeah,
I'll have to keep an eye out.
Oh, okay, so if you do a 2-player, there's no fighters present, so it just looks like it's you. Hopefully, together we can do it co-op.
Yeah, I wonder if we can hit each other.
That's the first thing we're going to try.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll skip game inspection. We don't set up arcade cabinets here on Chronological Gaming. If you're hoping to set up Eliminator, you got to go elsewhere. All right, for other versions, we have the 2-player cocktail version, the 4-player, and then a prototype version. We'll play the 2-player version. So excited for this one. Here we go. It is December 6th, 1981. This is the release of Eliminator by Sega in the arcades. Oh, we got the artwork on the outside. So if you saw is this the 2-player version? Let's see. Do we have other ones? We have the upright. Okay, here we go. Cocktail looked like this, and they have the control or like explanation of controls on either side. Man, look at that. Nice extract mode.
It is nice that it's perfect for a cocktail because you both play simultaneously. Perspective doesn't matter.
Right?
It's nice.
And the track mode showing you how to play. It looks like it ricochets off the walls when you fire.
Nice. This is cool looking.
Yeah, really cool. So I'm going to keep it on cocktail right now, and then we'll just zoom in all the way after that. So I'm trying to remember now the last color vector-based game we had. It was awesome. It was a game that whenever you got upgrades, your ship transformed. Whoa, cool effect there too.
Yeah, I mean, reproducing this stuff on LCD monitors, even the arcade one-up games that are doing that too, with like, with I don't know why the name's escaping me, but the vector reproduction still looks really good. But God, there's nothing like seeing a vector game on a tube, like in an arcade. It was so monumentally cooler looking than the other games. I mean, the way the animation worked, the effects,
the glow, that halo,
the glow, that weird phosphorus glow from the vectors, were just it added something to the game.
Yeah, I had someone in the comments when I did Asteroids tell me that the emulation doesn't do it justice, and I'm with you. There's no way we can show this the way it's meant to be played, because at the time in 1981, it gave you this futuristic feel, like you were playing something of the future, and we do the best we can here.
I mean, it felt like a perfect computer simulation or something. It was really something special.
All right, let's put some coins in. Looks like my Coinbase, I don't think mine works. Yeah, it looks like yours does for credits. Yeah, just pump it up, and then let me push start on my side and see if it does a 2-player game.
Sure.
All right, there we go. Both players were in. Okay, so I'm on the right side as the red ship, and John's on the left side as the blue ship. And so right off the bat, it's got asteroid controls.
Oh, the explosion effect is pretty colorful too.
And then, thrust, just like, awesome. You can see the, they're using color vector graphics for your, like, thrusters in the back.
Yeah, it's quite cool.
I did the same. Just run into it and explode.
This is a battle.
All right, can we kill each other? Oh no, it's
totally killed me. We could go after each other. That's funny.
Oh wait, once I killed you though, it's now...
Oh, I'm back here. But yeah, something came.
Yeah, we have the Eliminator came after us. Now another ship's coming after you.
There we go.
Nice. So I am out. My lives are done. John's the only one in. And so now you have 2 fighters that are coming after you.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, I was trying to do a quick move there. Hey, this is a cool game.
Yeah, let me raise the volume on this one. This one's awesome. Make it a little bit louder. Let's go with there, because this is one of those games like the other vector graphics games that the sound effects and the bass was like really loud.
Mm-hmm.
I think is that supposed to be me or you? Looks like
you. No?
I'll just make it... Oh, okay, there's player 1.
Oh, okay. That's weird.
Ready, player 1.
I don't know what I'm having trouble here.
Yeah, it says rotate changes the letter thrust. I wasn't getting it either. Thrust moves the box and fire when you're done. But,
okay, done.
All right, going in again. How many more credits do we have? Okay, both players ready. Okay, we're going up again. There we go. So I'm not trying to drown out our voices, but man, this game, I'm sure the sound effects popped. Awesome.
Yeah.
There we go. Now that we know friendly fire, I can shoot at you. We got to be more careful.
This is a cool game. I like the idea that we're going after a big bad. Like it's almost like a never-ending boss fight.
Right? Yeah. Love it.
Oh, a little too clever there.
That Eliminator in the middle reminds me of like the stuff they did with Kicks that we saw earlier. The just having a design of of something on the screen just to look flashy.
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta be careful with that ricochet. Yikes. All right,
I like
go
the
around
rain.
again. So I
The
think you're
circling like helix rainbow inside the Eliminator there.
I think you're still in the bottom left corner. Are you
Oh,
still
I am.
Oh no!
Oh, it's like trying too hard there.
Oh no! And
Oh,
whenever
no.
you're out, then
And that means
I
you
get attacked.
You get the attacks.
Whoa! He's leaving
I
the
wonder
base.
Uh-oh.
What? Can I not destroy him?
That was weird.
I kept trying, but it wasn't working. All right, let's go one more go. Let me zoom it in, and let's go for... There we go. Now let's see. Okay, I don't know if I can remember how to do this, though. If you want to try to put your initials in, it was tricky for me.
Like the B button?
Yeah, you have to know which one's thrust and which one's fire. All right, let's try rotate
and the right.
and then thrust. Okay, so it's the A button is thrust.
Rotate changes letter. What was the control scheme of this arcade machine? Was it
This was same
Or
as
was it a
Asteroids.
spinner?
Yeah, no joystick. It was buttons.
Yes,
One button to
buttons.
move left, one button to move right, and then a button for thrust and a button for fire. So it was all buttons, just like Asteroids.
All buttons. Yeah.
All right, last go. Here we are, playing Eliminator. The co-op aspects is really cool too. Well, I guess we can shoot each other, but
yeah, which is, I guess they do you a favor of not having you get attacked by flying ships because of the confusion that might create. But it's kind of funny that they don't. You know, in this mode, it really is just us just going after this guy.
right. And 4 players would have been amazing.
Yeah, and you'd have to be careful not to kill each other unless that's part of the fun for you.
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna get you and the Eliminator.
Well, that's a good point,
Could be the
because
point, yeah.
you could be playing 4 people and you don't know the other people, so you want to get
Yeah.
rid of them. Get out of the way. I want to get better at Eliminator.
Yeah, exactly. Oh,
I will give it the physics are really good for how you fly and use the thrusters. Like,
Yeah.
It's up there with Asteroids. Plays really well.
yeah, I feel like you can get really precise with this and really skilled.
You still know buddies that are like in the 80s mindset. They still want to play games and go for high scores. 'Cause I only can think of one friend that's like that.
I mean, back in the day when we were doing, even before the video game years, at Fun Spot, where they actually filmed a lot of that movie, King of Kong. That was where like Steve Wiebe went to break the record at the arcade, at the classic arcade championships or whatever. I've met a lot of those guys, and you know, that's a special breed of people who are just intense, trying to just get the scores, My uncle actually has a score in the top 10 on Qbert.
Really?
Which was funny, yeah. But which is completely random. It's not like he's a super gamer or anything, but he was just really good at playing this game in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was college. But yeah, games like this, they're just so fun.
Yeah, it's so cool. All right, so with that, Eliminator, what would you give that one out of 5 stars of all the other games you could play in 1981?
I'm giving it 4 stars.
4, excellent.
It was good. I mean, maybe that's a little high, but I've never played this. This is a lot of fun. It's worth playing again.
Yeah, I'm with you. This is one of the best, I'd say, considering everything else we played, because I'm thinking of the 4-player. If you had the cocktail version, that would be amazing.
I just picked up the 4-player Pong arcade 1-up, where it's like a pedestal table, and you have 4 people around you. You can play Quadra Pong or Warlords, but there's something about having that many people going at a weird, simple game. It's a lot of fun.
That sounds
4 players,
awesome.
a big attraction of this.
Love it. All right, so with that, we have reached the end of the evening. John, I am so thankful that you came on. This has been a big treat for me. I can't believe it happened, and you can kind of see how the formula works. We just plop down and just play a bunch of games in that time period.
Yeah. And hey, I mean, I'd love to do this again sometime. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Okay, great.
I wish you the best. I mean, you're doing some serious work here.
It's starting easy because we're able to start only in North America, but oh no, when we start playing.
Yeah, this is the easy years.
I was explaining to everybody that we started with releases that we know when they came out, and then after we get to that point, then we got to play all the other games that people just say, oh, it came out in 1981 somewhere or at some time, and so that's what we're going to be doing next. So if you think we're nearing the end of 81, oh no, we got a lot more to go through.
The history only knows so much. There's a lot of question marks of when things came out still.
Yes. We're doing the best we can, but we do want to play them all, and we would love to have you back, John. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Out of everything we played tonight, anything that you would say is something you didn't expect or something that you really enjoyed playing for the first time?
I would say, I know I have played Casey Munchkin, but it must have been something really quick because I was shockingly, I was surprised at how fluid and well the controls worked in that game. It worked very, very well. And Eliminator, I'd heard of it, never played it, and I love vector games, so this was a treat. So this was awesome. It was great, and we only did 1 month in 1981.
Oh, I don't even think we finished. We only got to the fifth.
Yeah, exactly. No, this is great. I'd be happy to come back.
Okay, great. Well, we'll shoot you an invite. In the meantime, do you have anything you want to tell everyone about, like what's new, what's going on, or what's going on in the life of John Delia?
Yeah, sure. I guess the big thing I could say is, I mean, the Video Game Years is still available. Most places on DVD. If you want to watch it online, it's on Pat the NES Punk's YouTube channel right now. And Retro World Expo in Hartford, Connecticut. It's like our 7th year or the 7th year of the expo.
Oh, nice.
Two of my buddies run it full time. I help out with some social media. If you're in the Northeast, go to Retro World Expo. It's a good time.
Yeah, and check out the Video Game Years because I'm not gonna lie and say that didn't influence what I'm doing on the channel. It's awesome.
I mean, doing things chronologically, I can empathize with you. This is a much bigger feat, so this is very cool. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks so much, John. And for everyone else on YouTube and Twitch, thanks for tuning in. We will catch you next time. Hey, everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.